you're on.
Right? Good morning. It's actually almost afternoon. I guess it is afternoon. I usually do our lives at 10 on Facebook, and this is our first YouTube live. I'm working from my computer here because we don't have it set up on the phone yet. We're still learning. Okay, so here we have Nemo. He just got neutered. So he is waking up. He is my inside goat. And the vet just left. The dogs want to play with them. And he's still asleep. Hey, you guys, don't be playing on him. Let's go. So for those who don't know me, I am Lori Zaleski. I'm the owner of the Funny Farm Rescue and Sanctuary. We have over 600 animals here, and every single animal is a rescue. They're here. They have disabilities. Some are just unwanted, unloved. Some were loved, but then they had bad situations at home, and then they couldn't keep them. Some are rescued. We have horses rescued from the racetrack. I have Nikki, the little pain in my behind. Here she is. Nikki, come say hi since all you're doing is talking. That's Nikki the cockatoo, and she imitates me as I'm trying to go live here. She lives to about 90 years old, and she is only 9 years old. So keep that in mind if you're ever getting some kind of a parrot or a cockatoo. Animals are work. They're not super easy. People think, oh, it's so cute, until they poop all over the house and pee-pee, and you see what she did. My curtains are gone, and the woodwork is missing. So I used to have beautiful curtains, and I no longer do now. So Nemo is starting to wake up a little bit. Nemo, come on, let's get up. They gave him a sedative. There's two ways, puppy, go away. There's two ways to do goat neutering. One is surgery, which this is what he had. He is my inside goat. A lot of times people do banding, a lot of the vets, but they have to keep it on for about 2 weeks, and then they fall off. I'm just going to leave it at that. His were taken out surgically this morning, and he will be pretty much ready to go in a day or so. You can see he is just starting to wake up. He's still very sleepy because he had a sedative. So we have to just make sure that he recovers. There'll be very little bleeding with this, and he is going to be in his friend's timeout area. That's Nikki. It's her pen. And that's where he goes, so he can just be quiet and relax. The dogs sometimes want to play with him. He thinks he's a dog. I'm also going to show you, we're only going to show you a few animals today. We are inside because we are in South Jersey, and it is spitting outside, kind of almost, I guess it's warm enough for rain, but we thought it would be a little bit icy. So we're going to just stay inside today for our first YouTube video, but I want to introduce you to two dogs. I have 9 in my house, but this is little Jesse. He has megaesophagus. He's black, so he's really hard to see. And Tucker is the big, gigantic German Shepherd. He is over 2.5 years old. He too has megaesophagus. And what that means is a dog that has megaesophagus has to sit up and eat. For the rest of their lives, they have to have liquid food. So Tucker will get in his chair. Puppy will sit in his. They both know that they have to sit up, although this one is only 9 weeks old. Jesse is still a little baby, but he knows that he has to sit up. That's just how they have to do it to eat. So his esophagus is enlarged, and if his food goes in, if he's on his fours like a normal dog, the food just sits in his chest and doesn't make it down to his belly. So this will absolutely make it down to his belly. What do you want me to do?
There's a book right there.
Oh, it's a book.
You can show the picture.
Chucky. So I used to have a dog named Chucky. He had megaesophagus. There we go. He had megaesophagus, and it was the worst case of megaesophagus ever. And this is what it looks like on an X-ray. So if you see, this is his head, this is his neck, and that's the esophagus. That's his stomach. So you can see all the food just goes and sits in his chest and doesn't make it to his belly. So if he sits up, the food will go down by gravity into their stomach. So people just got him for Christmas for their family. And then they said every time they fed him, he would throw up. So they said, something's wrong. Let's take him to the vet. So they did, and quickly found out that it was megaesophagus. A lot of the vets say, oops, sorry, you should euthanize them because they can't have a quality of life. But basically, the only thing that's not of quality of life is he just has to sit up in his high chair. They start out in a car seat because he's too little to get into the big Bailey chair, which Tucker will demonstrate in a second. Tucker, get in. Tucker, show him. So Tucker's going to get into his chair by himself. Go down a little. There you go. He's going to back in. He's going to sit up. Good job. I'm going to stop feeding both of them for a second. We have to click him in. He's a pro at this because he knows how long he's been doing this for 2 years, over 2 years. So he realizes I have to sit up and eat my food. So Meg, you have to come over on this side. And you'll be able to see both of them eat. So it's quite the process. Hold that for a second, Tucker. Don't spill it. A little bit. Whoops. Can you see? So it's a little bit more work, obviously, if you are a megaesophagus mommy. Every 3 hours they have to eat. You have to blend their food, and it's puppy chow mixed with water. So there's 2 cans in this blender. I always tell everybody I don't use these for margaritas, although I'd like to sometimes. It is strictly the dog's blender. And every 3 hours, starting at about 5:30 in the morning, they start to eat. And every 3 hours from there, all the way up until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night is the last feeding. And then they sleep through the night like people do. And then in the morning, as soon as I get up, I'm up about 4:30. And by 5:30, they have eaten their first bowls. So they both get 2 bowls, even though this guy's a little guy. He eats just as much as Tucker, just about. When Jesse first came, he's the little black lab. He is 100% German Shepherd, and his problem came because his mom and dad were related. So a lot of times interbreeding, when they're trying to keep the line strong, is when we had issues. So that was his problem. So they don't really know about Jesse. He is a black lab and blue tick hound. He's like, okay, I want some more too. And you can see it's a milkshake-like consistency. I say it's your doggy milkshake. There you go. Okay, all right. And I have to keep him from eating too fast because he does upchuck his food otherwise. And it's not really throw up because it's coming out of his esophagus. It's not coming from his belly. So when it doesn't come from your stomach, bile's not in there. So it's really just upchucking. So after they both sit up, after they eat both bowls of food, you can see it doesn't take long at all. Then they have to sit up for about 10 minutes to keep the food going down where it's supposed to go. If you let them down too quickly, some of it will go in the esophagus and then it just comes up. And they do eat it again, but it's like the gift that keeps on giving. While they're eating, I want to come up a little bit. There we go. While they're eating, I want to say, if anybody is new to the Funny Farm Rescue and Sanctuary, we're located in Mays Landing, New Jersey, which is a half an hour, 40 minutes from Atlantic City and about an hour from Philadelphia. We are open Tuesdays and Sundays free of admission. So if you're in between jobs or COVID's got you down and you just need a place to go, you can come here. We do require masks, although we are inside my house right now, but normally, we are outside where you're meeting all the animals. A lot of the animals roam around free. So you really get good animal experiences here. It could be a lot of fun. All of the animals get along. You can see cats, dogs together, the goat in the other room. The goat is usually running around like the dogs. I also have the parrot, the cockatoo, and then I have 2 chickens. I don't know where Adele is. Adele is a chicken that lives in my house, and she has her nails painted. She usually wears a poopy diaper, but we have them on order. All her other ones got ruined in the wash.
Is that Hope?
This is Hope, I believe. Yep, this is Hope. And also that was a rooster, Larry the rooster. So while they're sitting up for a minute, you guys stay there for a second. He's learning that he can sit by himself. Hold on, Larry. So then I have Larry the rooster. He also lives in my house, and he is a blind rooster, so it's harder for him. So he lives in a smaller chicken house in my kitchen, and then I let him out. And you can see I have a boot dish back here, so he kind of can figure out, okay, I feel it on my feet, and then he'll try and feel the food after he's clean. He doesn't like that I messed up his feathers. He is a silky rooster. He looks like he has fur, but it's really feathers. And you can see Puppy will go right up to him. They know that they're brothers and sisters, that they are to get along and not fight. So we do go around to schools and teach, if all of these animals can get along, so can your kids. We are very kid friendly. So if you come on Tuesdays and Sundays, I need a napkin for he's a very messy eater because he is a baby. One of our big things on the wish list, are paper towels. Now you know why. We have chickens pooping in the house, dogs eating food and spraying everywhere. These were donated, our car seats. We got 3 of them, so thank you to everybody who donated the car seats. When they get messy enough, we will retire one or send it out for service cleaning and then use one of the others so they all get used. So you can see his little belly. I call it the Buddha belly. Little lower, man. So he has a big fat belly. When he first got here, you could see every rib and his butt bones were sticking out, his hip bones. And he is doing great. He hardly ever upchucks because we're doing everything the way we're supposed to be doing it, sitting him up. Eventually he usually gets a little rammy, like try and keep your dog or your kid in a car seat. You can see how good he's doing. If you want to lower it, there you go. He's like, I'm tired. I'm sitting up like a good boy, but sometimes he'll go like, Mommy, I want to get out. And then I actually hold him up. We also have a snood. I don't know where we put it. We had a friend that got a snood, and it holds his ears back like a little babushka for his head, and it keeps his ears out of the food because his ears are so long because he has that hound in him that they go into his food sometimes. So, right? All right, Puppy, let's leave. He's playing with the rooster. You can see. But nice play. You can see. You're a good boy, Puppy. And the rooster seems to be playing with him back. And everybody says, how does that happen? I say, only at the funny farm. I don't know if it's something in the water. But, I won't just take a new rooster or a new chicken and throw him in the house and be like, have at it with 9 other dogs here. I always, when I'm introducing new animals, I always am like, this is your brother. This is your sister. That's all. Be nice. Nice, Larry. So Larry was found in Philadelphia, and what's a silky chicken doing in Philadelphia? We could only imagine the worst. So they knew, the girls that rescued him knew that he needed a home, and hardly anybody's taking in roosters. We have over 100 here, and we didn't know he was very sick. He had to be on antibiotics. So I brought him in my house for that reason, and then I realized he can't really see. So the vet said he's not 100% blind, but he's pretty blind. So he sees shadows, they think, but that's about it. So if you put his favorite food in front of him, he doesn't really see it. So you're just meeting a couple of the Funny Farm favorites. I don't know where Adele is, but so this is Jesse, Tucker, the mega. So he looks like he's praying. You have to get in front of him. Let's see. I don't know how this camera works. Here we go. So he looks like he's praying, so he knows he has to sit up for about 10 minutes. Here's Larry. Then you saw Caesar. I'm probably making you sick because I'm using my computer. And then Puppy, he's the one who was playing with the rooster. Here you go. Let's play with him again. And then there's Farley, the farm manager. You want to put Adele on Tucker's chair? So here's Miss Adele. You can see she's sitting up with Tucker. Tucker doesn't seem to mind. He's such a good boy. He's a very patient dog. Little kittens climb on him. The little puppy climbs on him. Adele sits on his chair. Her nails are painted. I don't know if you can see them here. Mommy has been very busy, but she needs to repaint them, which is me. I usually paint her nails for her because she is the diva chicken. Matt, do you want to get me the diva chicken book, please? So Matt, who I'm speaking to, is usually my video man, but I'm doing this on my computer, so it's all over the place. Sorry, because it's me. Here is Adele the Diva Chicken. She has her own book, and it's written by Matt Reeves, and I assisted in that. But it's all about being the best that you can be, and it's talking about this chicken that lives in my house, and she wants to be somebody else, she thinks. Here's the regular chickens. They're scratching around the yard, but all she wants to do is go to the feather dressers and wear a beak stick. And here she is on the couch watching television with the remote, with her pearls and you can see her little diaper on. And she was named Adele because she makes a lot of sounds and sings very pretty. And she's a redhead like Adele, the singer. So she talks about wanting to be a horse and how they have to go to the dentist. So she wasn't too sure about that. And then the ducks, it's like having a pool party every day. And then the goats, you saw the baby goat, they jump around, they can see in the dark. She thought that would be so cool. And then the kittens, they get to purr and they get petted all the time. However, they lock her out of the house, which is not okay. And then this peacock has very pretty feathers, and hers are not as pretty, so she's a little envious of that. Here she is with the skunk. Okay, she's not so sure she wants to ever be a skunk. And then here's Lorenzo the llama and the donkey. And he is so tall, and she thought that would be so cool. And then here she is on the one-eyed horse. And then at the very end, sometimes we all feel like we don't belong, and that's okay. We look at others and think they have the perfect life. But do you know what? They may be thinking the same thing about you. We should always be nice to each other because you never know if someone is sad on the inside. Not being nice to others is not okay. It's so much fun to think about all the things you want to be, but the very best thing is to be is you. Always be proud of who you are because no one else is quite like you. At the Funny Farm Rescue, there is no bullying. Everyone just gets along no matter what you look like or who you are. The best part is that everyone is different. That's what makes us all so special. Be who you are and be the very best that you can be, just like me, the end, Adele the Diva Chicken. So that's just one. We have 3 books. You can purchase them online. 100% of the proceeds goes to the animals at the Funny Farm. They are on Amazon. We do get more money when you buy them through the Funny Farm, however. And with that, I'm not going to keep our first one too long because you can see I'm on my computer and it's a little difficult to, a blind chicken can't figure out where he's going. So we have to give him a little hand. And hopefully we will see you again on our live YouTube. This is our very first live YouTube broadcast. So thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate all your support and hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.